Good morning and welcome to my YouTube channel. Never thought in a million years I'd be saying that. Basically, I've been wanting to do YouTube for a long time, but I never really had the confidence. I don't really know why, I just didn't, and I've spoken myself out of doing it forever, even though it's something I've always wanted to do. That's why yesterday on Instagram, I was like, screw it, Q&A up, we're doing it, we're committing. I think my thing is I've like a fear of perfect, and it's like, you know when you see everyone who's got these YouTube channels and they're so established, and I'm like, yeah, but that's just not me, mate. So does it matter? Like, just be real. So that's what we're doing. So for today, my mate Jack is coming over in about an hour. We're gonna train together. After that, I've got some editing to do, which I will do the Q&A alongside of. So while I'm editing, I'll do the Q&A, and hopefully it's a good episode. Who knows? Probably like 10, 15 minutes long. Who knows? I'll be honest. It's my first episode. This is gonna be rookie. It's gonna be messy. It is what it is. But if you've already subscribed, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Let's just see what happens there. Right, so finally in the gym. Jack's here. He wants to say hello. Nice. Cheers, Jack. So what we're going to do today for today's session is Jack has, similar to me, has been on quite a bit of a weight loss journey in the past. So his fitness is really high, but now he wants to focus on strength. Same as me. So today's session is quite strength driven, basically. I'll throw in a few bits and then see how we go. So while Jack is really well versed in training, he's been doing a lot of fitness and HIIT for quite some time now. He really wants to focus on strength, so we went with the starting strength principles of just 5x5 on back squat, just to get him used to that style. So obviously me and Jack are different heights, so I have to have it set a bit lower, but we're just going to warm up this way. And then,
I'm average height.
Yeah, he's normal.
I'm average.
He's absolutely, yeah. Cheers, man.
Nice, Ben. Nice. It's perfect form, that. Perfect. And that is how it's done.
I think that's the big thing with hair, that like, I guess like men get the piss took out of them before, but like, it does affect our confidence if we don't like our hair. Like,
I'll be honest with you, it's my biggest insecurity.
Yeah, like, it does wreck our confidence. Like,
it is. When we don't get it, it feels like, I'll just get rid of it and life looks insane.
Yeah, I think people think it's just like such a small thing, but like, I think for me, because I grew up like really resenting my body, having good hair.
Yeah. You should get out of jail free card.
It was my thing, yeah. So to lose it is like...
You're losing your fucking head.
Exactly. I'm losing like my confidence blanket.
But I know when it's gone, I'm fine.
But then you do just have to just get rid of it eventually and go, fuck it. I feel like a beard is like... It's like makeup, isn't it? It's a bit like...
Also, you've got a 6 years. Serious, you get serious nonsense.
You do.
Like if you meet a guy now,
if you've got a decent beard, men respect you.
period.
Unfortunately, but they do. Like, I've seen dudes in bars with the most glorious beard, and I'm just like, bro, teach me.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
I feel splendid.
Yeah?
I can speak now as well.
Good. Yeah, OnlyFans reached out to our manager. And like, Ben could, it's not just about adult entertainment. Ben could advertise his workouts. He could give his health advice. We think he's a perfect creator. And I'm like, nobody ever says,
follow me on Instagram.
No one ever says, follow me on OnlyFans to hear about my body issues. Like, it's just like, I'm waiting for us, mate. Pay me 10 quid, get your todger out. I'm like, nah, you're alright, to be honest. So, for those who don't quite understand my height difference to people, this is Jack.
I'm 5'10".
Yeah.
74 kilograms.
I'm 6'6" and 120 kilograms, I think. So.
That's a true David and Goliath.
Yeah, basically. Right, session's done. We were going to go for food, but his missus was calling, so he's got to go. I am going to shower, make my own food, and then we're going to do the Q&A. I'm fresh-faced and showered, so I'm changed in my new top. It's I love it. It's from Abercrombie. I can now fit into Abercrombie and Fitch, which I don't know if anyone else remembers, but when we were kids, we couldn't fit in this brand, and now we can. I feel like the 15-year-old in me just got a little win, so that's cute. So I'm just gonna scroll through, see what people say. Worst job I've ever done. Worst job I ever did was probably when I was like 16, 17. I worked on a building site as a labourer, which I actually loved, to be fair, because it's good crack, like it's easy money, and it's good fun, like being with a lot of blokes and pissing around. But they had me like for like a month. All I did was clean bricks, and if you don't know what that is, it literally means like they rip down a building and like all the old bricks that they want to reuse, you've got to stand with a chisel and just chisel off like cement and crap for 4 weeks. Like, it drove me mental. And then it turned out after 4 weeks that there was asbestos in the building, and I didn't have any PPE on. I'd just been breathing in asbestos for 4 weeks, so I definitely shaved off like 5 years of my life expectancy. So cheers to that one. Are you heterosexual? Is that straight? Let me Google this. Sexual orientation is a romantic attraction, sexual attraction, or sexual behaviour between persons of the opposite sex or gender. Straight. Yeah, I am. As you can probably tell by the fact that I didn't know what that meant. I am actually quite smart-ish, kind of. Do guys actually like it when a girl asks them out instead? Yes. And it's a simple reason being, sorry if you can hear like a building site by the way. Yeah, guys like it when girls ask them out. For the same reason why girls like it when guys ask them out. It's because they know that they're wanted, right? It's approval. It gets rid of like the guessing game. Do they like me? Don't they like me? Do I need to impress them? Like, if a girl just lays it on, it makes it so much better. And motherfucker. It makes it so much better. But then I guess that like, it's just a confidence thing, right? We do like it, let's be honest, of course we do. I think anybody does. I mean, basically, is the question, do you like being asked out? Of course, it's a nice feeling. Do you have plans of putting out a full workout program? Not right now, no. So I'm literally at the very beginning of a 12-week program that I'm working on. I'm only a week and a half in. The goal is fat loss and muscle development. It does mean that I'm in a calorie deficit while incrementally overloading. So obviously the goal is to get stronger and get leaner. That's the overall goal. I have already lost, like, for those that don't know, about 125 to 130 pounds already. So where I look like a dad bod average gym goer, I've been every size under the sun, from like someone who battled with quite heavy addictions around dieting and training, where I was only like 14 and a half stone, 15 stone at 6'6", which if you don't know, that's like 190 pounds, and then as high as 185 kilos when I had a really wicked binge eating disorder and I was extremely depressed, to be honest. So I've kind of like conquered a lot of different beasts in this game, and now I just want to put an end to it. So me kind of getting rid of the rest of the fat, and probably going to have some stomach surgery, as in like some loose skin surgery. That's what these next 12 weeks are about, is finally putting a nail in this coffin. So am I going to release a program? Probably not, to be honest. I am a certified trainer, but that's not what I do now. Like, I don't train people anymore. Like, that's just not what I do right now. Maybe I'll consider it in the future, or maybe I'll partner with a trainer and work on a program or something for people. But right now, no, not right now. But I will happily share anything anybody wants to know. If anybody wants to know what my training stuff is, more than welcome to have access to that. I'm just not recommending that what I do is what you should do. How did you get into plus size modeling market? Great question. I've answered this one quite a few times, but I'm always happy to answer it. So how I physically got into it was, I basically did what most agencies want you to do, where you take some digitals and some Polaroids, which are just like basic photos on an iPhone, in a bedroom against a blank wall, measured myself, like all my body measurements, made a quick video like this introducing myself, and then I sent that to as many agencies as that I wanted, and got offered. So that's literally how it's done. But if the question is sort of trying to dig deeper as to like the whys, hows and whats sort of thing, it was on the back of seeing a guy in America called Zach Nico, who had been signed as a plus size model for IMG, and it was like quite big news. I wasn't a model at the time. I didn't really give a shit about modeling, to be honest. It was irrelevant. I was in business. I worked in tech, where I was very happy and I was very successful. And I just saw it, and like, I just thought, if he could do it, I can definitely do it. Like, with the same height, with the same measurements. I felt like I, looked similar to him but different. So I thought, well, hell, if he's doing it, I'm definitely throwing my hat in the ring. So I just went for it. And obviously it was a great decision. You know, I'm very, very glad that I did that decision. Yes, it's been a roller coaster and it's a very turbulent job. But it's unlocked so many things for me and freed me of so much stuff. So immensely grateful to someone like Zach for paving the way so that people like me found courage and representation to pursue what he had done. And there'll be people who watch me do it and do the same, and vice versa, and so on and so on and so on. So when people say about representation and stuff, it truly does matter, because it really does open up people to start to accept themselves more, because they see relatability in the person in front of them and think, well, if they can be glorified for their looks, which is something I may resent, I maybe don't need to resent that as much, because a guy who looks a lot like me is being kind of admired for the way he looks. So maybe I'm not so bad after all. That's kind of why it's important for representation, but that is also the how, physically, and what the motivating factor was as to how it came to be. So this is quite a good question. So what inspired you to post about men's plus size fashion? Also, I'm a major fan. First of all, thank you very much. Second of all, like, what encouraged me? I guess because I was a plus size male model, or am, I guess. I just felt like I owed it to myself, for a kid who like loved fashion and loved creativity and loved like style from a very young age, but was never able to access it, and was kind of typecasted as this like big rugby player type. It just felt like I owed it to myself, and therefore felt like there must be so many people out there that are in that same position. So why not? Like, why the fuck not? Like, why not just, you know, talk about this stuff? Like, yeah, okay, I'm not gonna look, my silhouette doesn't resemble that of a typical male model. I don't have like the perfect body and all that sort of stuff. So nor does 95% of the planet. Like, what's nuts is that in male modeling, or at least in male fashion, anything above a size medium is plus sized. Anything. So like David Gandy, if you know who he is, he actually struggled to get in as a model initially because he was too big. But because of his actual measurements were bigger than a medium, there was no category for him. He didn't fit the mold. So what I think people might not realise is that where like say in women's fashion, which I completely accept is insanely toxic, men's is honestly very, very similar. And I'm not comparing the struggles, so please don't think I'm doing that, because I'm not. I'm just trying to shine a bit of like light to maybe help people wake up and understand. A guy like myself, or maybe the average guy who walks around like a large or an extra large, the images that are being advertised to him are that of like the size of a child's body. Like, I've worked on set with blokes who have 38-inch chests, which is fine. Like, I'm not body shaming or anything before anybody thinks I am. But like, I have 31-inch thighs. So like, it's not really healthy when it's like, that's meant to be the norm. This dude who's 6'2" and, you know, built smaller than like most children is now advertising me, telling me that that's what masculinity looks like, and that's what the manifestation of male beauty looks like. And it's like, is it? Like, or is it just that because it makes your clothes look better? Like, that's all it is. It's just because the clothes hang better on his body. It's actually got nothing to do with anything else. So it's innately toxic. And I just thought, you know what, fuck it. What's the worst that could happen? What, someone calls me fat? So, like, and oh well, you're too big to be in fashion. So I'm clearly not, because I'm doing alright, aren't I think there's a bit of like a fuck you complex I might have. Like a bit of like a stop me. Like, why not? Like, why shouldn't I? Like, you know, there's gonna be a 16-year-old kid, 17-year-old kid sat out there at the moment who's 6'2", 6'4", 6'5", whatever, and he might be chunky, might not be overweight, he might just be built big, and he's gonna feel so alienated because he never sees himself ever being admired or like in these realms of like beauty, because he's always probably typecasted to be like the goalkeeper, you know, like the big guy in goal, or like the prop forward on the rugby pitch or whatever. So I just figured, well, fuck it, let's give it a shot, and if we make a good go of it, we make a good go of it, and if we don't, we move on. Like, no biggie. So yeah, why do I do it? A, to try and help people feel better. B, because why the fuck not? I think all of us should just back ourselves sometimes and push ourselves out of our comfort zone. So, okay, this is quite a good question. How do you handle all these comments from women who want to date you? It's weird. Now, this is something that like I never envisaged happening in a million years. Like, truly, it's been weird for me, to be honest with you. Like, I believe I don't make thirsty content. Of course, load shirtless photos and stuff, but that's more like to celebrate my body and celebrate the change. And that's actually me trying to like push myself out of my own comfort zone, because for years I would hide under like multiple layers of t-shirts, hoodies, jackets. Like I would hide my body. Like never in my life, in my history, have I ever walked down a beach shirtless, or like walked like on holiday anywhere shirtless. Like I won't even walk around like the hotel complex, anything. Like I'll always be clothed. So to be now doing like this sort of stuff online, putting my body online, it's immensely liberating and makes me feel a lot more free. So I don't believe I post much thirsty content, but then I only ever seem to, like, the platforms only ever seem to put me in front of women. Like they only ever, like every time a video blows up, like if I do a fashion video, it's only women that see it. And I don't know what I can do. I could to change it. Like there's nothing like I've tried, but I don't know. So like, how do I feel about it? I take it all like with a pinch of salt, to be honest. Like it's just people having fun, and it's people just being dumb, and it's people just like at the end of the day, the world's a pretty miserable place at the best of times. And if someone like being a bit goofy and being a bit dumb on a video or on a piece of content like gives them a bit of a laugh for 2 minutes, I'm not going to stop them. Like at the end of the day, who cares? It's not that big a deal. I don't see it as like neither a positive nor a negative. I understand when people say there's a bit of a double standard here, where like if the roles were reversed, we'd say it's toxic, and I do agree. However, my character and my own individual personality, I just don't care. Like it's just people having fun, man. Like let them be. Like, is it professional? No. Is it a bit crazy? Yeah. But if it makes people feel good for 2 minutes, then gives a shit. If you ever do look through my TikTok, you'll see like there's a period where I was just crushing. Like you're getting like 1 million views, 1.3 million, 2 million, and then all of a sudden there's like a huge dip, and it's because I had to take a break. Like I had to come away from it for like 6 to 8 weeks, because I was just getting obsessed. You know, I'd spend 14 hours a day. I'd try and reply to every single comment. I felt like I owed people a reply to every single comment, which of course, like, you know, they've taken their time out to comment on my post, I should take the time out to reply. That's how I used to see it. But when you're looking at like 1,000 comments and stuff, like I'm only human, and I think I stopped valuing myself in that way and was like, yeah, it got toxic fast is the point I'm trying to make. So I think it's positive overall. I think it's lovely. I really appreciate people when they are so kind, and it is so lovely. It is a little crazy when I get sexualized for stuff that's not remotely sexual, but then I can't have my cake and eat it too, you know? Like I can't say like, yeah, go do your thing, but don't do that. Like, no man, like I said before, the world's a shit place. Someone might just feel better for 20 seconds for being dumb. They might just be like, that might not even be their true character. They might just be being a bit spontaneous, and they're having a moment. Let them be. The only thing I don't like is obviously people being pricks, people being nasty, not to me but to each other, people fighting in the comments, that sort of stuff I can't stand. I delete and block people when they start behaving like a twat. I'm just not interested, to be honest. That's not what I'm trying to create. I'm trying to create a really good, positive space where people are just free to relax. No cancel culture bullshit, no toxicity, none of that. Like, it's just a place where people just want to vibe and relax and talk shit and have fun. And that's what I'm trying to build. So I'm all for it. Fill your boots, do your thing. It's a little crazy, it's a little wild, but this life's too short, man. Who cares? Like, it's a comment, you know. Who cares? What's your most embarrassing memory from school? All right, this one's hilarious. Oh, it's so painfully embarrassing. So I was like 12, so it must have been like year 7, year 8. And because I was so damn tall, so when I went to secondary school, I went to secondary school 6 foot tall. So I was 11 years old and 6 foot. At my high school, we used to have a smaller building for the year 7s called Humber, and it was literally small. Like it was a short building. The doors were little. Like it was made for small people, right? Your boy was 6 foot and 18 stone. There's nothing small about me. I used to have to like when you go to the exam halls and stuff, I used to have to take the exam desk and lift it and put it over my legs to fit it on my legs, and the desk would just be hovering in the air, and I'd just be writing on it. Like I was just a man-child. I was a man in a child's life, basically. It was horrifically embarrassing. But that's not the story. The story is one day I was walking through Humber, And like I said, it was a purpose-built building for like shorter people, right? Like, obviously the doorways were high enough and stuff, but like the handles were super low. So if you've got a door handle which is normally like up here, let's say, just for like visual purposes, the handles there are like here. So as I like stood walking by, my pocket caught in the door handle and ripped like right down. So it like caught the pocket and ripped all the way from the pocket all the way down to my ankle and like created like an ABBA style like 70s flare, but it was literally all the way from the waist all the way down to my ankle. So I'm this like awkward, chubby, like 6 foot shy, like so no confidence going whatsoever, and I've just seen my trousers shred from fucking waist to ankle. And I was like, what am I gonna do? Like I was dying of embarrassment. So I basically like snuck back to it was during the lunch period. I snuck back to the teachers, like to my form teacher's classroom. It was empty, and I took a stapler out of his desk and I stapled every single bit as much as I could, like just stapled in all these bits all the way down to my ankle. And I was like, I can't get away with this, like this is so embarrassing. So I just went home. I didn't tell anybody, I just left. I literally just walked home with my like ABBA flares held together by staples, and just went home and cried. I don't think anybody really saw me. I went home, my mum wasn't even there. She came home on the night and was like, how's your day? And I was just crying, and I was like, I need new trousers. And she's like, why? I was like, I can't go to school with these like fucking trousers ripped. And the next day I had to go to school in jeans, and everyone's like, why is the big kid wearing jeans? And I'm like, yeah, I left them in the wash, like make up like a shitty excuse. But yeah, that was a painfully embarrassing memory. So I don't know if that's like funny embarrassing or just like straight up sad, but it's kind of funny. You gotta laugh. So I'm gonna end it on this question. And somebody said, perhaps not a fun question, but how do you deal with comparing yourself to others? The reason why I want to answer this one is because it's something I've managed to overcome myself. I just don't anymore, and I truly mean that. Like, I just don't care what somebody else has, what they look like, what they've got, like what they've achieved. Good for you, boo boo. Like I'm sweet. Like I'm figuring my own shit out. I'm on my own little journey. I find it like I compared myself to so many people growing up. Like I would look at like guys who I had nothing in common with. Like we were not remote. Like it's like me trying to compare myself to like a Zac Efron type. Like the dude's like 5'9", like shredded to the bone from day one. Like what good is it to me compare myself to what he's got and done? I'm just some kid from Hull. Like I've been figuring this shit out since I was a little boy. Like it's pointless. So I think like for me, I just don't do it. Honestly, I truly just don't waste my energy anymore on worrying about like other people in my industry or like what, like fuck them. Like they're on their own shtick. You're on your own shtick. You will figure out whatever it is that you need to make you happy. Trying to like compare their journey to yours is pointless because you're not even from the same neck of the woods. You haven't been dealt the same cards. So I just don't anymore. I just genuinely don't care what someone else has. If they've got a great body, good for them. If they've got a lot of money, good for them. If they've whatever, I just don't care. So I'm gonna wrap it up. I'll wrap it up there. This has been my first ever episode, so I really appreciate if you've made it this far. I really appreciate if you've, if this is in any way fun or good. I don't know what I'm doing yet. This is just like me diving in and figuring it out. So please do let me know your thoughts and stuff. Like, do comment and engage and tell me if this was shit, if it was good, or if you've had any ideas, or if you want to see me talk about stuff, or what you want me to do. Like, I have things I know I'm going to be achieving and what I'm going to be doing with this channel, and I intend to make this channel very much like a great positive space that's like informative around a lot of our challenges that we face in our 20s, and body stuff, and fitness, and health, and fashion, and just like general life. Like I'm just going to be very much sharing a lot of my own journey with you, and I'm going to be like sharing what I learn along the way. Am I always going to be right? No. Do I know all the answers? No. But I'm more than prepared to just be raw and open and vulnerable, and that's what this space is going to be for. So please do comment, whatever, let me know if this is good or crap. And obviously, if you're somehow seeing this through YouTube and you don't know who I am, I'm a male plus size model, I guess. I do videos on TikTok around body positivity and men's fashion. And on Instagram, I do much more of the same. Wow, really selling myself here. Drop a little subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate that, and that feels so weird to say. And yeah, I really appreciate it. So I'm going to sign out, but thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next episode.